know him from the Smiley Morning Show. Now he's got his own show. Radio Theology is on ZPL. Here's Pub Pastor Daron.
Good morning, Radio Theology's back on the air with you. Can you feel it, guys? Can you feel it? You know what it is?
Oh.
It's love, baby. Love.
Yeah.
It's Valentine's week, and right here on Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron Early Wine here with Ryan and Lisa. And guys, there's not a holiday that goes past that we don't want to educate people on why the heck we celebrate this holiday.
That's right.
Especially this one.
This one. I mean, you think it's just about lingerie? Well, I hope it is. Hello. Sorry. Anyway, we bring our friend, Professor Horatio Wigglebottom in to educate us every holiday, back by popular demand. Welcome back to the studio.
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me.
We love it. You got to educate us again.
Of course. Well, the origins of Valentine's Day may be traced back to the ancient Roman festival of Lupercalia, which was celebrated from February 13th through the 15th in an attempt to avert the city of evil spirits, thereby releasing health and fertility into the Roman populace.
I like that.
Lupercalia was a particularly bloody spectacle, as it involved the ritual sacrifices of goats and dogs.
Dogs?
Young Roman women would line up to be hit with the hides of the slain animals, believing them to be agents of fertility.
I mean, and people don't like speed dating or online dating now?
Right, sorry, Peter. Naked, drunk, young Roman men, the likely forerunners of the modern-day tribe known as frat dudes, would repeatedly smack their female counterparts with the animal skins. Many scholars have posited that this is how the term "to be hit on" originated, although there is much debate surrounding this theory. 200 years later, Pope Gelasius I tried to combine St. Valentine's Day and Lupercalia to expel the pagan ritual.
Yeah, and save all those dogs.
Which only made things terribly confusing for the young Christian men in Rome, who most certainly would have grown up hearing the legendary stories of their great-great-grandfathers drunkenly swatting their maternal ancestors with the hides of freshly slaughtered golden retrievers.
Oh, gosh.
The arms of the angels fly away. Speaking of flying angels, do you like that segue?
Great segue.
What would Valentine's Day be without the adorably cute god of romance, Cupid? He's often depicted in Roman art as a naked, winged, blindfolded, chubby baby about to launch his arrows of love willy-nilly at oblivious humans like a terrifying airborne sociopath. Nothing says I love you like an infant archer severing your aorta when you least expect it. Pastor Daron, you mentioned lingerie. Well, Victoria's Secret is anticipating a record number of male customers this year who will undoubtedly select the most uncomfortable items in the store for their wives to begrudgingly wear for an awkward 15 minutes this Friday evening.
Oh, amen.
Right between the kids going to bed and the newest episode of This Is Us airing, causing every white woman in America to sob uncontrollably into her Merlot and Sprite. Before I go, would you like to hear some Valentine's Day puns I came up with?
Absolutely.
Oh, wonderful. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Sherwood.
Sherwood who?
Sherwood like to be your Valentine.
Nice.
What did the chef give his wife on Valentine's Day?
I have no idea.
Hugs and quiches.
That's terrible.
Because he's a chef.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Lastly, what do you say to an octopus on Valentine's Day? You give up?
Yeah.
I want to hold your hand.
Oh, my gosh.
This has been our Valentine's Day edition of Holiday History with me, Professor Horatio Wigglebottom, PhD, only on Radio Theology.
What do you want from life? Oh, my gosh. Is there any bigger question than what do you want?
What do you want? What do you want?
From life. It's Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. And guys, that's a big question.
Yeah.
Not just in life. I struggle greatly at restaurants.
Same.
Like picking one, or like once you're there,
once
finding
I'm
out
there.
what you want? Oh, okay.
If it's got an extensive menu, I'm done.
Yes, I have a tip for you, which is to look at the menu before you go, so that you know exactly what you want. You can get all ready for it in your brain space and in your tummy space.
Ooh.
And then you
The
don't
anticipation.
You don't feel stressed. You watch everybody else freak out about the menu, and you're like, I already knew I was having the buffalo chicken sandwich.
I might need that because it's getting bad to where I've completely delegated my life decisions to my wife because she always knows what I want. And what I can't take anymore is that I don't know what I want. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah.
I go with something. It shows up. She orders the thing that I should have ordered, and then I sit with regret and watch her eat the awesome thing as I eat regret, bite after bite of regret.
Here's your plate of regrets.
That's what it is.
So Cheesecake Factory is really hard for you because the menu is like 48 pages long.
Full-blown cold sweat. Yeah.
I get that.
I'm on the floor in a fetal position.
Yeah.
But there's bigger things than that. Here's what I thought was interesting. This week, I was inspired by Patrick Mahomes and Demi Lovato. Last week, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chief quarterback, led his team to a huge Super Bowl win. Demi Lovato sings the national anthem.
Yep.
Demi's had a good couple weeks. I'm back at the Grammys. Her song's #1. She sings the national anthem. But here's what really stood out to me is some tweets resurfaced about them that were a decade basically in the making. And these were actually good tweets that resurfaced. Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron with Ryan Leeson. Listen, is they knew what they wanted. Help me out, guys. I think Demi Lovato's was like 10 years ago, right? She tweets that someday I will sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl.
February 7th of 2010. She was only 17 years old at the time.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Craziness. And Lisa, you said at 17 your life goal was similar to just wanting to sing the Super Bowl, the halftime show, or the
I
national
had
anthem.
really big aspirations, which was to basically marry my high school boyfriend. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what I poured every waking moment into, and that's what I wrote about, and those are the things. And thank the Lord Jesus and his kindness, that did not happen.
Yeah.
No offense.
But I'm
No,
guessing,
you can say offense.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you're going to raise your daughter with a little bit higher aspirations. Even I'm not saying marriage is a low aspiration.
No, it's not.
I'm saying that there's bigger dreams than just that.
That was a good save right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's speak that to the universe.
Right.
I
now.
like that. Well, see, Patrick Mahomes had a similar situation. It was in 2003, I believe. He was 17 years old, and he tweets, "It must be amazing to be the quarterback winning the Super Bowl that gets to say, I'm going to Disney World." Hashtag QBs.
Okay.
Here are two 17-year-old kids that knew what they wanted, and they wrote it down. Now, they wrote it down in tweet form.
Sure.
But I think there's a connection between knowing what you want and then actually writing it down. And Ryan, you challenged me with this year.
Yeah, this year I was really inspired by a guy named Michael Hyatt who wrote 2 books that I read that really jump-started my year. He's all about like focus and efficiency and productivity and goal setting. And I got this journal that his company put out. It's called the Full Focus Planner. Shout out to my friend Kathy Craig, who was the tipping point for me. I was like, oh, if Kathy's got it, I'm going to have it. But it's been great. It's like totally like mapping out your quarter, your month, your week, your day. Like it's great. And it's becoming more fun and behavioral to actually write down the things that I'm going to set out and do that day.
I love it. So let's stick with this. I want to come back and I want us to say, what do we want? And are we willing to write it down and focus on it? Because here's what we believe. We tell you every week that God is for you, not against you. He's near you, not far from you. And he's created you on purpose and for purpose. But if you're going to actually live that purpose out, you got to decide, what do I want? And you actually have to start writing it down. We're going to try to figure it out right after this song. Do you know what you want out of your life? If you don't, you might just miss the life of your dreams. Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. And guys, we're talking about this past Sunday, Demi Lovato sang the national anthem, and then Patrick Mahomes, the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, won the Super Bowl. Crazy part is that both of them decided that's what they wanted at 17 years of age, and they wrote it down. Tweets came out this week, both of them saying, this is what I want. This is my dream. And they committed their life to it, and they actually accomplished it.
I love that.
But here's what I'm thinking. Most of us, if we were asked, hey, what do you want? Like, what do you want out of life? We'd be like, happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I just want to be happy. Yeah.
We'd come up with a broad scope, like attribute, like peace or whatever. But like no idea how we actually accomplish that or what would bring it. Yeah. And I'm amazed at the power of actually saying, this is what I want. I'm going to make a decision. I want this. And then the next step I think is unbelievably powerful is I'm going to write that down. I'm going to come to a decision, and I'm going to actually write those words down. And I believe there's some scientific connection, like writing something down makes something like, how many more times, Lisa? What is it?
It rewires your brain. I don't know how many more times effective it is, but it physically rewires your brain.
Ryan, you know super random things. You can make up a stat.
Yeah, make up a stat. Yeah, in the era of fake news, just what we want.
Yes.
No, I do think it does, like the act of writing somehow gets it deeper into your brain to say, okay, this is actually going to become behavior now. And so I've seen it in my own life. Like, I mean, even just in this past year of like, it's becoming more behavioral now that every day there's somewhat of a ritual that I go through of like, what's my big 3 things that I got to do today?
Yeah.
What's the one big thing I got to do this week? You know?
Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. And I agree, Ryan, you challenged me to start writing some goals down. I've started doing it, but I think Lisa, you've been writing down ideas and visions and goals, but I think it's just, we say each week, we believe that God has created you on purpose and for purpose, but there's a lot of freedom in living that purpose out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the cool thing is that God actually lets us partner in the process of deciding in that and stepping into it. But I think sometimes it feels maybe a little bit terrifying to actually hold yourself accountable to go, I'm going to actually figure out what is it that I really do want.
That's me. Because even now, I'm like, I could probably say things out loud, but I'm sweating. My heart's pounding a little bit more because when you say it out loud, it does become more real. And then when other people know about it, there's a greater chance of embarrassment with failure. If nobody knows about my dreams, then and I don't ever achieve them or I fail miserably at them, then I can still hide. And I don't want to hide. I just saw a meme on somebody's Facebook post today that said, "Girl, stop tiptoeing through life. Make them hear every step you take." And I'm like, yes! Mm-hmm. But that's so much easier said than done.
It is. It is. There's a part of that of, once you vocalize it, I think step one is like you got to decide. Yeah. What do I want in life? And here's the deal. If you're following God and you really do want his will to be done in your life, I've heard this said before, and it's been a game changer for me, is the thoughts and the desires and the passions that you still have in your life after you said, you know what, God, I want to follow you. That's the greatest compass for you to know what direction you should move in your life.
Yeah.
So following that, knowing where God's leading you, but been saying, you know what, I'm going to think about what is it that I want.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, I'm going to vocalize it. I think that is so tough because now you're going public with it.
Mm-hmm.
But that next step of I'm going to actually write this down. And it is scary, but what about this? What if you spent the rest of your life hiding behind those fears, never vocalized it, and never wrote it down? Here's what I can almost guarantee you. Your dreams won't happen. And that is really, really sad. We don't want that to happen, so we're going to inspire you with what we say next. Don't go anywhere. It's Radio Theology. You were created on purpose and for purpose, but if you don't decide that you want to live that purpose and write it down, you might just live a purposeless life. Oh, that sounds sad. It's Radio Theology, a weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. And guys, we've been doing this show for 3 years now. Mm-hmm. If you're a first-time guest with us this morning, welcome to Radio Theology. I'm sorry you don't get a free coffee mug or anything in the process, but we're glad you're with us. I'm Pastor Daron Earlywine. I'm a pastor here in town for a long time, and I do radio theology. I do pub theology. I also teach an online course called Spiritual DNA, and I'm the host of the show. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning. That's Lisa Graft. Lisa, you lead an amazing blog that's called IamMotherOfTheYear.com.
Yes.
You're a writer, you're a speaker, you're a storyteller, amazing things. That's Ryan Allward.
Hey, guys.
He can be found at Ryan Songs, his website, and on Twitter. Ryan used to be in Straight No Chaser. You're a singer-songwriter. You got music coming out every single month. And we hang out every single Sunday morning to try to bring a little more faith, hope, and love to your life. The way we do that is we kind of share some of our stories of what we're learning, how we're trying to figure out who God is and who we are, and walk together, maybe laugh a little bit, make you think, maybe make you cry a little bit if Lisa's talking. Because we do believe that your life has actually been created on purpose and for purpose. And this morning, we're just kicking the idea around that sometimes I don't think we take enough time to say, what is it that I really want? And that's something we've been challenging each other to do this year.
Yeah.
And in 2020, it's making a difference. Ryan, you started this by saying, guys, I'm writing this. You got the Focus Journal from Michael Hyatt.
I didn't realize I started it.
You did. You started a movement.
Yeah, you're Mr.
Gosh.
Focus, write stuff down guy. And then we got jealous because we were like, we want dreams too. And then you went after it, right?
Yeah, I think around Thanksgiving, I started reading 2 books by this guy named Michael Hyatt. He's a big productivity, goal-setting, expert guru guy. And I was just really inspired by his books, and he totally ran me through his sales funnel. Yeah. And I got the planner, and I'm hooked. Now I'm using it every day, and I'm a very vocal evangelist about it. It's called the Full Focus Planner. It just helps you break down your annual goals, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and even daily goals.
But you were focused last year. You decided what I want to create more music.
Yeah.
I want to use my voice. Right. It's a gift that God's given me. I want to use it to create music. And you decide, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And you set a goal when you put out a song every single month. You can get Ryan's stuff at ryansongs.com. Or on Twitter, go find him. He's active on there and on Instagram. But Lisa, last year you released a journal for women. You hosted a conference. You spoke. You did a bunch of stuff, but you didn't happen by accident. You decided this is something I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that was a big year, but even this year, this weekend, just to give you a little bit of encouragement, if you're like, I'm too busy for this, I can't even create space to sit down and figure out what I want. On Sunday afternoon, I was coloring with my daughter when I was like, I need to get this out of my brain and on paper. And I picked up the crayons and wrote down my battle plan for 2020 and beyond. And so you can do it. Even if it's in crayon, it counts.
Yeah, I love that. Even if it's in crayon, it counts.
That'll preach.
Yeah, it will. It will. That's good. Write that one down, Lisa. That's a session for you. God has created you on purpose and for purpose. For me, I decided, you know what? Listen, I'm going to stop hiding behind different things in my life, and I want to speak. I want to inspire people, and this is something I've written down. I've got goals for it, and it's been amazing. Even in the past 7 days, the doors that have begun to open after I've been able to say, you know what, this is what I want. And it's not outside. I didn't just make it up out of everywhere. Of all of us, we've taken the process of discovering who God's created us to be, the gifts and abilities and talents He's given us, and now we're able to make informed decisions in that direction. And we want to inspire you to do the same thing. Maybe you need a jump start this morning to actually get going in that process. Download the podcast. Just search for Radio Theology wherever you get your podcasts. We release episodes of the show every week. We also do an episode called Behind the Mic that is a little bit of a deeper spiritual conversation. And then on Fridays, we release an interview with someone who has taken steps to really find their life's purpose. I think it would inspire you, and maybe it's your next step. Just search for Radio Theology wherever you get your podcasts to discovering the life you are created to live. There's 3 of us on this radio show. One of them's a girl. Her name's Lisa. She's coming up right now.
She is a woman.
She's a woman.
She's a woman.
She's a woman.
She was a girl
That's
a long
true.
time ago.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now she's a full-blown woman.
Strong, brave, courageous woman.
It's Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. And right now, it's time for Lisa's Pieces.
Lisa's Pieces. Have you ever had one of those mornings where you're done by like 8:13? Happened to me this week. 8:13 in the morning, I'm tapped out for the day.
Oh, like it's a wrap on the day.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Like, if I could go back to bed, I would.
You're looking for the reset button of the day.
Oh, my gosh. But
nope.
sometimes it's like 3, 4 o'clock. Sometimes I make it till 8 o'clock, and I'm like, we made it all day, and now I can kind of go to bed.
Yeah.
Wow. This week, it was 8:13 in the morning, and I looked at the clock, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Because my kids were off the rails. Boy child, 2.5, just screaming what he wants, screaming what he doesn't want. Just no vocal pitch besides the loudest, highest.
It's the worst.
Ooh, and he's my sweet one.
But he had his voice on an 11, Ryan.
Yeah. These go to 11.
His voice goes to 11.
This child had the decibel level of like a jet engine.
Oh, and it was like
the worst.
piercing into my ears, into my soul area, and it was awful.
Yeah.
And then Josie, who's 5, is trying to help him, but the way she helps him bothers him, and she knows that.
Yeah.
So she's just causing more screaming.
That's why she loves to help.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I'm like, get out of the car, I'm gonna die. And so I'm like, literally, my thoughts were oscillating between, this is how I die. This is some kind of weird torture, and then this is how I die. Like, somehow I'm just going to fall over. And I would feel like that's a sweet release, right? Or one of you 2 children is going to die.
Yes. Someone is ending today.
Yeah.
Yes, we just raise of hands if you're in the, really, it's me. I'm like, oh, dude, it's a wrap.
I will end you.
I will end you. But you can't because,
Right.
you're a mother and your children. And,
Yeah.
Right.
Child
so-
protective
Life is
services.
precious. All the things.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
For this child, I
Yes,
prayed.
hallelujah. And so I brought him to, finally, to daycare and sprinted out of that building so fast. It's possible I let out a little woo. Just freedom.
Yeah. Mel Gibson
happened.
freedom
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah. Yes.
Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Lisa Graff telling a story about that she was done with the day by 8:13 this week, but you powered through, I'm guessing?
I powered through, and here's how. So this is the encouragement if you're done with the day.
Let's do it.
At any old time of the day. Here's what kept me going as I started thinking about one thing that is my favorite about my kids. So I just kept thinking over and over. Right now with Calvin, he's 2.5, and we have this thing where we do 20 kisses at bedtime, and it's the sweetest. But he doesn't want me to kiss him with our noses touching. So, can you picture how you're supposed to kiss without the noses? But it's like, you're like, not your nose, Mom. And it's like the sweetest. I love it so much. And so that's what got me through. Like, just think about the 20 kisses. Think about the 20 kisses.
That was your anchor.
That was the anchor. And so I'm like, if I could just hold on to one piece of good, that's the strategy. And that was all it took to get me through the rest of the day. I'm not saying I aced the day. I'm saying I survived the day clinging white-knuckled to the one piece of hope that I had.
What gets you from 8:13 to like 8:16 was find the one positive.
One positive.
I like it.
Yes, right? It's so simple, but I don't know why it's so hard to do in the moment.
Most of life, very simple, very difficult to actually do. Lisa, great stuff again this week. If you want to connect with Lisa and get all that information as well as encouragement from thousands of moms around the world, just go over to IamMotherOfTheYear.com this morning. It happens every week. We read news stories, and the only 3 words we can say are,
Lord have mercy.
Guys, we're going to start in China. We have a tourist traveling. It dawns on her, you know what? I think my underwear are wet.
Okay.
Or undergarments.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I didn't Google search this because I wasn't sure what would happen if I searched Chinese woman wet undergarments. But she's in the airport and thinks these things need to dry out. Starts draping them over the chairs in the airport.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Could you scoot over a couple? My panties need to go. I don't even know.
My bra needs a seat of its own.
So gross. So gross.
Airport employees told her to put them away, which she did peacefully.
Oh.
But I'm sure as people saw her draping them over the chairs, they had to say to themselves,
Lord have mercy.
Lisa, what do you got?
Oh, guys, we're going to Texas, where apparently they have all the best ideas.
Yeah.
Because there's in the San Antonio Zoo for the month of February, they have this event called Cry Me a Cockroach, where jilted lovers can pay $5 to name a cockroach after their ex, and $25 to name a rat after their ex.
Well, and then the rats and cockroaches live on forever?
They live on until Valentine's Day when they are fed to snakes. And you can watch, it's live streamed online so you can witness the demise of your ex.
Oh my gosh.
That's so twisted and yet so brilliant at the
So
same time.
good, right? Screw you, Jacob!
Yeah. Hey, everybody, get over here. Look at my camera. Jacob's getting eaten by that python.
So good. That's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
Way to
Money
go,
they
Texas.
raised
Yep.
for all of the
Gosh, that's funny.
consumed ex-lovers.
Yeah.
Rats and cockroaches. We say a heartfelt,
Lord have mercy.
Ryan, take us home.
You guys, over in Moscow, in Russia, there was a woman. She went to the doctor. She was complaining of abdominal pain.
Okay.
So they do a procedure called a laparoscopy.
Sure.
They find, you've got some cysts on your ovaries.
Oh.
You
Okay.
got to take these bad boys out
Painful.
before they get cancerous or whatever.
Painful.
So they go in. I am almost about to vomit. Like,
Okay.
it takes a lot for me to
Just
feel this nauseous. I can't. I'm going to close the window on my laptop because the image is so disturbing.
okay.
Inside each of the cysts,
No.
they found pounds of hair.
Oh no!
What?
Do not Google
Pounds?
Moscow hairball woman's ovaries. Don't do it. Like
Pounds.
pounds of cysts that had been there apparently since she was a little girl. They're genetic, I guess. Inside it started growing its own soft tissue and hair, bro. Hair.
Pounds of hair.
This thing like that they
Pounds.
pulled out, and it's so gross. It looks like something you would donate to Locks for Love if you hate Locks for Love.
No. Just look. Can we? No. This.
Locks for Barf.
No. Is she better?
Pound.
Is she okay? Is
She's
she doing?
great. She's
Okay.
She
recovering.
probably lost 40 pounds.
She no longer has a
Jeez.
giant head of hair in her womb. It's so gross. It's so gross. If you're struggling with ovaries that produce hair, I'm so sorry.
No,
Yes,
we're
don't
done.
call us.
Only thing
Sure,
that
the
can save us now
doctors,
is some great pop music. Sorry, we've got to go, but we'll
Lord
just
have
for
mercy.
that and what it's done to your mental state. And if you make the mistake of Googling it, I just want to say,
don't.
Lord have mercy.
Valentine's Day is Friday, friends and neighbors. Should you care? Should you get a gift? Does it matter for your relationship? Should steak be involved?
Easy, yes.
Pressing questions right here on Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. Guys, Valentine's Day, Friday. Big day for love. Mm-hmm. If you currently aren't in a relationship, maybe it's a day of like, I hate that day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe if you are in a relationship, you still hate the day.
Yeah.
Here's my deal. It is a made-up holiday.
Yes.
Sure.
It's not like real. It's not like we're celebrating our independence on the day that we signed the Declaration of Love, Valentine's Day.
Right. Yes.
My take is this, though.
Go ahead.
Any reminder or excuse to celebrate love, do something special with the people in your life that you love, not a bad idea.
Sure.
Because guess what we have? We've got a lot of just normal days.
Sure.
It's like, what's Valentine's Day? What's the big deal? It's like, well, if we don't do something, it's just another Tuesday. In this case, just another Friday.
Right.
Lisa, you need to be loved uniquely.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That sounds like the title of an Al Green song.
You need
Tread
to
lightly.
be loved uniquely. Why don't I let you sing? No?
Sounds like a plan.
But for you, it's important that your husband knows you guys are about to have your 10th anniversary.
We just celebrated it.
Just celebrated.
Yeah, we just celebrated
Congratulations.
it. Thank you. A whole decade.
Well
done.
You did it.
I know. I can't believe it, but I can totally believe it.
Yeah, way to go.
Is it important for you for him to know that you need steak on Valentine's Day?
It is. It's important. It's important to know that every birthday and every Valentine's Day / anniversary, since they're a week apart, we just pick one day and celebrate.
Okay.
I don't want to be too greedy with the steak, right? But it's steak and mashed potatoes, mushrooms, and asparagus. This is what we have. I get it twice a year.
I love that.
He makes it. He's so good at it. He loves doing it. And I love eating steak.
I
That's
love
what
that.
you get when you marry a farm girl,
That's
right?
Yeah,
Right.
right. Amen to that.
This is America.
Yeah.
Radio Theology, weekly days of faith, hope, love, and music. Ryan, we talked about that there are the 5 love languages. I don't know if people have
Yes.
studied this.
Right.
And we all have a core love language we speak. The 5 love languages, they're touch,
Uh-huh.
words of affirmation,
Quality time,
quality time,
receiving gifts,
gifts,
and acts of service.
acts of service.
Okay.
So if you know your spouse's love language, if you don't know it, you can go out, just search the 5 love language test, or you can take it free online somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, what would steak, like what Lisa needs for Valentine's Day
Yeah.
/ her 10th anniversary,
Yep.
filtered through the love languages? What would that
All right.
sound like?
So words of affirmation would be, you deserve a good steak.
Preach.
Acts of service, hey, I made you a steak. Receiving gifts, here's a steak just for you.
Oh.
Quality time, let's have some steaks together. Physical touch, I don't know that one because that's your marriage. I'm not going to get into it. Let's eat the steak together.
While holding
Whatever
hands.
happens after, that's on you guys. I'm not going to go there.
Well played, sir. Well played.
There you go.
So, Lisa, when you hear about steak through the 5 love language filters,
Yeah.
I can see it on your countenance. It's changing. You look like you're like, yes, I feel loved.
Yes.
And we're not even eating steak.
No, I know. I just talking about this steak. Maybe I'm less high maintenance than I thought.
Listen, you got a couple days to think about it. Just maybe discover your significant other's love language, and then custom make the gift. Whether it's steak,
Yep.
flowers,
Maybe a baby.
maybe hello.
Whoa. What's February plus 9 months? Is that November?
Yes, it is. It's
Yeah.
November 23rd,
All
my
right.
sister's birthday and my birthday.
Oh
Year
my
apart.
goodness.
Year apart on the same day.
There you go.
2 Valentine's days in a row.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm just not even touching that subject. We got to play some more music. Radio Theology. We'll be right back. I hope we're bringing some joy, some laughter, some sunshine of something to your soul this morning. Because good Lord, I can't take the gray anymore. Can't do it, February. You're killing me. You're killing me, February. Right here on Radio Theology, your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music. This is a sad Pastor Daron Early Wine. Guys, I don't think I have SAD, seasonal affective disorder.
Sure.
There's a chance. I know that today we're supposed to possibly see the sun again.
Yeah.
But we're on like a 3-week run where we see the sun on Sunday, and then we don't see the sun at all.
Yeah.
And this week we had the snow and the ice stuff, and
Ugh.
I can't do it. Everybody's killing me.
The SAD acronym actually kind of makes me happy because the acronym is what it is describing, which I'm like, that's just so great. Way to go,
is.
guys. It's really sad, literally sad
Yes.
that people are affected by it. But I go, yeah, that's a good acronym.
And if anyone can appreciate a good acronym,
Oh,
it's
man.
you.
Yeah, I love those acronyms. I think February gets a bad rap.
What?
What? No.
I am intrigued
You
because
may call it the Tuesday of the year.
It is the Tuesday. It's so, there's no hope in February.
See, I disagree. You guys, listen to everything we get in February.
I need this because right now I'm at odds with February.
February gives us a lot of good things.
Okay.
Okay. Literally today is National Pizza Day. Who doesn't love
I do love
pizza.
I do love good
Okay,
pizza.
I could celebrate.
Pizza
But I can eat
bring the
pizza.
country
I can
together.
eat pizza any time.
Yeah, but we
True.
celebrate it. We got a Groundhog Day.
Where a rodent basically dictates our future.
Great movie also.
Oh, it's a great movie. I do love
Super
Bill
Bowl?
Murray. Oh, I loved it. I did that. That was
Yeah,
great.
that
Last
was
Sunday was
good.
great. I did love the Super Bowl.
Oscars tonight. How do you feel about movies?
I do love movies.
Okay. Valentine's Day, the day of love.
Mm.
Now, I
Romantic
do
love.
love some lingerie.
And you like it for your wife, too.
Well played, Rhino. Well
President's
played.
Day, Black History Month. You guys, there's a lot in February to be thankful for.
Okay.
And this year's a leap year. We get an extra day.
We could get an extra
Come on, guys.
day
An
to
extra
celebrate
day
the gray.
of gray.
There's 2 ways to pronounce February.
How's that?
February or February.
Both are accepted?
I think colloquially, which is a crazy word.
Say that.
Wow.
I think you could say both. Yeah. This year was a palindrome year. First time in 900 years that we had a 02/02/2020. Same forward and back. Come
Wow.
on. Stop dogging on February. It's a great month. Be happy for what you got.
Radio Theology, a week that has faith, hope, love, and music. Pastor Daron here with Ryan and Lisa. And Ryan, you have given us the other side of the coin. And I will say, I'm not going to enjoy the gray, but there are some. You know what else? You know, I'm going to add one.
Go ahead.
Ooh.
Daytona 500
Oh, there you go.
next Sunday.
Man.
Okay.
I'm kind of stoked
You
about
can
that.
take the boy out of the South, but you can't take the South out of the boy.
I do love some NASCAR. Boogity boogity. I think, regardless, it is a gray month. We do need sun. We do need vitamin is it B?
D.
Vitamin D we get from the sun. But we do need to find the little wins.
There you go.
Because you can get through a real crap week with it being real sunny. But if you're having a really crap week and it's gray, you're going to need to find the little wins. And I think God gave us a lot of little things to celebrate to get us through the Tuesday of the year
Yes.
that is February.
So true.
We tell you each week we're your weekly dose of faith, hope, love, and music here on Radio Theology. And today we got to amp the hope up. Grab the hope knob and twist that sucker to 11.
Yes.
Because I think I have sad, guys. February has taken me out. I know, Ryan, you gave us a lot of ideas about why February was great.
February's a great month.
The Oscars are tonight. We got the Daytona 500 next Sunday.
Boogity boogity.
We've had the Super Bowl, Valentine's Day. There is a lot of fun in February.
Sure.
I just can't do the gray.
Yeah.
I need help.
I get that. Yeah, it's because it's Indiana, though.
I grew up in Arizona. I'm used to waking up. Guess what it is today? Sunny. Guess what it's going to be tomorrow?
Sunny. Yeah.
You know how much rain we get in Arizona?
Not much.
3 inches a year.
Yeah, it's a desert.
Wow.
We can get 3 inches a day in Indiana.
Ugh.
It's just this time of the year every year where my Arizona, the desert roots in my soul are like, we're dying. But sad is a real thing, right?
Yeah, seasonal affective disorder. It affects over 10 million Americans. And another 10% to 20% may even have mild sad.
Oh, I've got mild
sad.
sad.
Yeah.
I'm a mild sad panda. Not full panda, mild.
Yeah.
Just mild,
Mildly
sad panda.
furry, sad panda in February.
A lot of it, though, might get tied to that daylight thing that you're talking about. And some people fight it with like a lamp.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
like take
we've-
vitamin D or.
Yeah, we've tried the light bulbs. Yeah, you can change
Yeah.
your light bulbs to special sad light bulbs.
I might need the sad light bulbs.
Like, how long do I have to stand here? 24 hours, sir.
Oh, man. It's the real deal, though. Like that whole neurochemical thing in your brain can totally jack with you. I think it's the melatonin that is like less secreted when you're in just these periods of gray.
Radio
darkness.
Theology, if you're sad, welcome. This is the Panda Sad Show today. I'm gonna pull through. Though. I'm gonna get some sad lights. Lisa, you said the Bible actually helped you this week to get out of bed
It did.
and actually overcome the February blues.
It did. And I feel like I'm kind of taking over your role here, but if you'll let me for a minute,
It's fine.
put on my Pastor Daron
You
hat.
can read the Bible too.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I did. So it's too late. Isaiah 50:4-5 in the Message version, which is the perfect place to start, in my opinion, to read the Bible because it talks like a real human. So, the Master God has given me a well-taught tongue so that I know how to encourage tired people. I'm like, that's true. What if everybody else around me feels the same way as I do?
I like it.
Encourage the people.
I like it.
Right? He wakes me up in the morning. Well, that's true. He wakes me up, opens my ears to listen as one ready to take orders. The Master God opened my ears, and I didn't go back to sleep and didn't pull the covers back over my head. And I was like, oh, that's all I want to do most of the time when it's gray or when I'm scared or when I'm avoiding a situation or whatever it is, pull the covers back over my head like I don't have any reasons to wake up in the morning, and it's just not true.
That doesn't work out.
It doesn't.
I like that. That. Isaiah 50, verse 4 and 5 from the Message. I like that last part, too. So I didn't pull the covers back over my head. I followed orders.
Followed orders.
And if you want to know the basic orders from God today, even if it's gray, even if it's I'm sad-airy. I just made that up. I don't know if you could tell because it was so witty.
So good.
Here is the mission from God. It's very simple. Is to love God and to love others. And so today, you can encourage and bring a little bit of sunshine to someone's life if you just find a way to love them.
Yep.
And that might be being patient, kind, gentle, encouraging. There's lots of different ways you can do it. But follow orders today. Don't go back to bed, pull the covers off, get up, enjoy February, love somebody today. Or if you can't do it and you have to stay in bed all day, go download our podcast. It'll give you something to listen to. Just search for Radio Theology wherever you get your podcasts. It'll bring a little sunshine through your day if you can't get out of bed.
It's the thought of the day with Pastor Daron.
I got a question for you this morning. What do you want? It's a simple question, and your answer to it could make all the difference in your life. You think about it, you actually answer this question every time you go to a restaurant. Now, they might say it a little different, like, what can I get, would you like to order, whatever it is. But at a restaurant, it's not that big of a decision, but oftentimes it absolutely freezes me up. And all my closest friends, they know this about me, and they never really miss the opportunity to completely roast me at a restaurant where I'm just staring with frozen eyes, unable to make a decision about what do I want to eat. If we go to a restaurant with a particularly large menu, like maybe like BJ's or a Cheesecake Factory, see you later, I've got no chance. There's so many options, and making this one big decision about what I want to eat, it's difficult. If you think about it, you make a poor choice, the person sitting next to you, they make a better choice, and you're sitting there and every bite is just torture, right? Bite after regret of the food you thought you wanted, but now you don't. It's enough to drive you crazy. Actually, it's enough to drive my wife crazy, which it has for many, many years. So now, when we go to a restaurant, I've actually delegated my decisions. I asked my wife, honey, what do I want to eat off this menu? And she's correct about what I actually want to eat about 90% of the time, and I'm able to just kind of go on with life. So I let her answer my question, what do I want? Now, that's me at restaurants, but if I'm honest, sometimes it's me in life too. Maybe it's you. But here's the hard truth this morning. We cannot delegate our life. We have to choose it. Let me say that again. You cannot delegate your life. You have to choose it. You see, in the restaurant of life, God has given us a lot of options. He has created you on purpose and for a purpose, but there's a lot of freedom in living that purpose out. And what I'm finding in life is if I don't answer the question definitively and then write it down, what I want from life, most often, it doesn't happen. You may not be stepping into the purpose for which God created you because you've never decided what you want. And even more simply, maybe because you've just never written it down. What do you want from life, and are you willing to write it down? Are you willing to focus on it? Are you willing to actually align the resources of your life to accomplish it? Because this past week, I was inspired by both Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, and by Demi Lovato. In case you missed it, Patrick Mahomes led his team to a Super Bowl championship, and Demi Lovato sang the national anthem before the game. Well, what inspired me most about these two individuals is that years before they had these great lifetime accomplishments, they decided that that is what they wanted, and they even wrote it down. Tweets from both of them that were over a decade old resurfaced this week. As 17-year-old kids, they knew what they wanted, and they wrote it down, and eventually they accomplished it. Well, this morning, God is asking you this amazingly powerful and simple question. What do you want? Don't be overwhelmed, friend. Don't freeze. Take some time and pray and think, and then answer that question, and then take the courageous step to write it down. Because God has created you on purpose and for a purpose, but to live in that purpose and to fulfill it, you have to decide that you want it. If you need some help getting a jump start on that purpose, I want you to head over to IamBornToBe.com. I want to send you the free 5-day jump start to purpose. It'll help you answer that question of what do you want. Head over to IamBornToBe.com this morning. And this is Pastor Daron Earlywine, and that has been your Radio Theology Thought of the Day.